a guy who has been synonymous with New York media in sports since basically we were babies. One of the original OGs of talk radio for sports here. And that's Mike Francesa, who said that Daboll wants to jump off a bridge. That's a little harsh.
Yeah.
That's just definitely a little harsh there. Here's what he said. He said, I'll tell you something. When I see Daboll now, I don't see a coach who's had a little glint in his eyes and a little swagger in his first year. I see a guy who wants to jump off a bridge. And I see a guy who just wants to give you short answers. You can tell that he's up to here with all of it. And he knows he's looking down the barrel at a long season. Yeah. I mean, I agree with some of what he's saying. I definitely think he's frustrated. I think the jumping off a bridge reference is a little extreme considering why people do that. I don't think he's like medically depressed or anything like that over what's going on. I hope not, at least.
If you are able, seek better help. Come on, Giants Goofballs.
Seriously. But that's part of what he says makes you wonder, like, is Daboll, like, because he's been acting a lot calmer lately, you know, at least in public, except for obviously at the end of last week when he threw his headset on the ground and flipped out. But, you know, like, you haven't seen him flipping out in the sidelines like you used to. You know, everybody talked about him being a nicer Daboll during the training camp. Like, has he lost a little bit of something that made him maybe? Like, some people got to be a certain way. You try to change who you are, and it changes more than what you intended to change sometimes.
I hear what you're saying. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say. Like, Brian Daboll, when he came here, like, he looked kind of cheery. Like, let's be honest. He kind of looked a little cheery when he came in. Like, yes, he had that aggressiveness to him, but he got way over the top last year, and there's some players who got upset about it. Some coaches have got upset about it. Allegedly. But, I mean, dude lost, what, 50, 60, 70, 80 pounds? I don't know. But low to weight.
That's what John said here in the comments section. He said, did seem happier when he was fat like me. I mean, maybe that's what it is. Somebody's throw that man a sandwich.
I was going to say, when was the last time he had a carb?
Yeah, maybe that's part of it. Listen, he lost a lot of weight. He looks extremely healthy. Good for him. Like, I don't want to belittle that, but we're kind of gonna.
But actually, we really can't, because like you're talking about, like, he doesn't look that upset a lot of time. Like, he looks a little monotoned.
Is that the passion though?
Last year would have been the guy, like, throw the guy a piece of bacon, throw the guy a bagel, throw the guy some bread, throw him whatever, because he was getting upset. He just looks a little different now. Maybe throw him a Prozac.
Yeah, I don't know. Something definitely changed. That's for sure. I don't know what changed exactly. Like, maybe something going on in his personal life. I don't know. You know, like, something's going on. I just feel like he doesn't seem to have. He doesn't seem to have the same quite fire. I'll give it to you know, Francesa on that. He's right on that. He doesn't seem to have that same fire. But I think that's a little extreme to bring the analogy he brought into that. That's for damn sure. Like, that's a very take, I think. And listen, people do this all the time when they do sports talk, where they hyperbolize to the point of saying something absolutely insane just to get views. I mean, hell, we're talking about it, and that's the specific part we're now talking about. Pretty much is him saying that he looks he's going to jump off a bridge, but it's like, so, you know, it gets him out there. That's for sure. But I don't know. I just feel like something's missing, you know. And Deb says too, you know, didn't he take some heat last year for his fire? And that's part of it.
He did. I was literally going to bring that up. Like, hey, he was.
I know.
Oh, I'm not even looking at the notes because mine are up to date. So, wing it. No, but I mean, you look at year one, right? Everyone's happy. Doesn't matter what he did year one because we went to the playoffs. We won a playoff game.
Yep.
Year two, he brings off the same heat, but doesn't get as far. Now it's a problem because we don't win games. And he's also a little more angry because, let's
Well,
face it, we're not winning games.
it's a problem because people were complaining last year. Let's be honest in that. It's not
Yeah.
because we weren't winning games. People are like, oh my God, the Giants are winning, and that coach is mean. Like, that's not what people are saying. People are saying they're not winning games. That sucks. But look over here. You got assistants leaving left and right and complaining that their boss is being abusive. Because that's
Yeah.
what the complaint was, basically. And last year, coaching wise, I've said it before in the show and I'll say it again. I think he did a really good job with the team overall last year because of the fact that this team had nothing to play for, had injuries left and right,
And they
and the
played to the
guys
better
literally coming
end.
off the couch, and they were still fighting to the end of the year.
Yeah.
You know, he can't control what players are on the roster. That's Joe Shane's job. I mean, he has input, obviously, but in the end, it's Joe Shane's job. But the final product based on what you have on the team is his job. You know, and while the wins weren't there, the team was playing
Production
hard.
was.
Yeah, the team was playing hard for what they had at that point. I mean, we went through all quarterbacks getting injured at one point. We had how many kickers we have last year? Sore subject, I know. You know, we had
Especially after this
offensive
week.
linemen everywhere going out the entire year. Saquon was out for a few games. I mean, you had so many damn injuries last year, and that team was still fighting. But he showed fire last year still. There's no fire in him right now. Francesca's not wrong in that part of it. There's not the same fire. And listen, you can't wait till the very end and throw your headset. That doesn't count. I need you during the game pumping these guys up and get them going. And I'm sure he's still saying things to them. I'm still sure he is. But in the end, he's got to also get them pumped up during the game and get them fearful because sometimes, listen, nobody likes to admit it, but sometimes the boss that you're afraid of is the one you work best for. Different personalities work differently for different people. Like if a boss is a jerk to me, it makes me want to walk out and quit. I know other people that I've worked with in the past that you push them, that's when you get the best from them. You push me out the door. It's a different personalities get different reactions, obviously. But maybe that's what it is. Maybe he has some people he's not pushing, he needs to.
Could be. I mean, he's also got, a lot of the teams newer this year compared to like when he first came in. To a point, he's learned how to deal with some of the players out there. Like, so like, are some of the newer guys like, do they need to be pushed around a little bit when the guys that stayed need to be coddled a little bit? Like, I don't know how to justify it. I'm not a coach in that room.
That's the
I've
problem.
been a coach. I've been a coach in different rooms, and you're 100% right. Like, there's times when you need to literally push the guy. There's some people you need to tell them, like, hey, you suck today.
Yep.
And that's the motivation for them to come back the next week to be, oh, I suck today. I'm going to show you next week. I'm going to be the best.
Yep. Little known fact, Rob was actually my Lamaze coach.
I was. We pushed out that turd so hard.
Whoa. That took a nasty turn. Like I said, I want to see what's going on behind the scenes a little to find out. And that's the problem is I'm not going to see that. So I don't have any way of knowing that stuff. All we can do is guess. And I think something is going on behind the scenes. I will say this. During Hard Knocks, I don't think he looked very happy with the prospect of bringing DJ back.
No.
And I think that's part of this. Like, you could be the best of buddies with Shane, but if you don't agree with what he's doing, there's going to be times when it's going to come out. And I think he's probably on the same side of what we said, that Shane needed to bring in some competition for Jones. Drew Lock was not competition. Tommy DeVito was not competition. I mean, let's be honest. They wanted to bring Tyrod Taylor back. That's what they wanted to do. Should have gone out and gotten Gardner Minshew. That's what they should have gotten. If you weren't going to draft someone, you should have got out and got Gardner Minshew. And you had to have known going into this draft that you were not taking the big three. You were not going to go ahead and trade with the Bears for Caleb Williams. That wasn't an option. Thank God. You weren't going to go and trade with the Commanders for Jaden Daniels. they're never going to trade it within their division. That would have been like death sentence for the GM at that point to trade away a potential,
especially
starting
brand new
quarterback.
GM.
Yeah, the death sentence for his career. You already knew by talking to the Patriots, they weren't really that interested in trading the pick. You have to blow them away. So if your plan was not to get one of those three,
and listen, Shane's a family man. Like we saw it in the Hard Knocks. He was not about to do that.
But it's like, if your plan was to continue with Daniel Jones, and you weren't going to bring Michael Penix into the building, because we didn't see that when they brought the other ones in. You brought in J.J. McCarthy. You didn't bring Bo Nixon. You didn't bring Michael Penix in. I just feel like there was a malpractice at that position this offseason. And you saw the frustration in Daboll's face when he talked about it. You really did, I think. And he tried to hide it, but let's be honest, he's a hothead. He can't hide things. And I'm wondering if that's part of it.
So you think he's just kind of like in there in his eternal sunshine of the spotless spine, just like this is what the season is. This is what's going on. Is that what you're saying?
You can't put your arms up like this, by the way, Rob, right now, because you have a ceiling fan light right above your head. It looks like a halo.
I know, because
it's very angelic, like one of those pictures in the back of the Bible.
Giants, please play better next week.
But yeah, like I said, we'll have to keep an eye and see what happens. I'm curious to see if his attitude changes, if his demeanor changes on the sidelines here going forward, because something's got to give. Something's got to. Plus, we need to also make sure we have a kicker each week. Call me crazy.
Yeah, nuts.
Crazy suggestions there.
If you like that clip, then you will love the full episodes too. Find us on your favorite podcast app and look for us on all your favorite social media platforms.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please,